MVC is an architectural pattern which stands for Model View Controller. Over the years, MVC has been a preferred pattern for web development frameworks because it separates application or business logic from the rest of the user interface. The model is responsible for all database or any other storage system related logic. The view is solely responsible for the user interface of an application, and the controller acts as an interface between the model and the view. It receives user inputs and makes necessary calls to model objects, then renders a view to perform appropriate actions, passing along all necessary data. Imagine a team comprising of both backend developers and front-end developers. With the MVC pattern, the backend developers can focus on the model and the controller logic, while the front-end developers focuses on the views. Also, MVC allows you to structure your project in a standardized way, making it easier to find files when working on larger projects. Let's take a look at how Adonis.js implements the MVC pattern. For this, let's create a sample controller. Adonis make controller, call it test controller. Then the controller will be for HTTP requests. We should now have a controllers directory inside the app directory. Before we write any logic in this controller, let's update the route file, which is inside the start directory. Routes are the entry points to an Adonis.js application. So what this route does is, on visit of the home page, it will render the welcome view. So let's update this. Route.get on visit of the home route. Now we want to call a controller, which is the test controller we created earlier. Then we want to call a method on the controller, which we will call index. Next, let's create the index method on the controller. We still want to render the welcome view, so let's pull in the view object. Now we can return view.render. Then the name of the view we want to render. Now if we start our application, we should get the same results as before. As you can see. So far, we've only used the controller and the view. Now let's add the model. We will be making use of the user model. Behind the scene, I've gone ahead to set up a database and run the default migrations. First, we need to pull in the user model. app/models/user. Now we can make use of the model. User.all. Since this will return a promise, we need to change this to our async function and await this. Now this will fetch all the users from the database and store them in a users variable, which we can then pass to the view. So we'll pass an object of the data we want to send. Users. Then we'll convert it to JSON. I will explain why we need to do this later in the course. Now let's update the welcome view to display the users. We'll get rid of this and the style. Then we'll display a list of the users by looping through the users array. User in users. Then we'll display the user name. User.name. Finally, we end each. Now, if we give this a refresh, we should see a list of the users, as you can see. So that is how Adonis JS implements the MVC pattern.